Hello everyone, welcome to Get Insights. In today's lesson, we are going to look at the differences between American and British English spelling. Why it's important that you stick to one spelling pattern, and why do we need to know the differences between British and American spellings? Now, I want to discuss why first. If you go to a British university, you should stick to the British spelling. The same if you go to an American university, the American spelling. The important thing is continuity. If you start writing with British spelling, you should continue that way, and if you start with American spelling, you should continue in that style. Or, when you type something over Microsoft Word, you know the spelling of a word that you thought was correct, but there will be a red line beneath that word telling you to correct your spelling, which is quite confusing for you because you thought you spelled it correctly. Microsoft can be installed in either American or British English, and the spelling of a word may differ depending on whether it is installed in American or British English. Why we have two different spellings for the same word? In British English, some words have been taken from different languages, like French and German, and they actually kept the same spelling of that particular word, they didn't change it. On the other hand, Americans spell the words the way they sound, they don't add extra words, so American English is based on how it sounds. So that's a major reason why we have two different spellings for the same word. I'm not saying one is correct and the other is wrong, whatever is convenient for you or whatever is easier for you, go for that. Remember that even if the spelling differs, these words will be pronounced in the same way, so knowing these spellings is essential for you as an English learner. Okay, let's start with O, U, R, and O, R. OUR is British. The American way will not have a U. So, what are the examples? Well, we have it right here for you. Color, favor, flavor, labor, neighbor, humor, rumor, behavior. Moving on to the next pattern, which is words that end in R, E, and E, R. In British English, these words end in R, E. But in American English, they most likely end in E, R. For examples: center, theater, fiber, liter, meter. Can you think of any others? Let's move on to some more words here. Words that end in I, S, E or I, Z, E are up next. I, S, E is the British way of spelling. I, Z, E would be the American way. So, words like apologize, organize, recognize, specialize, authorize, criticize. Another pattern and the words that end with Y, S, E and Y, Z, E. Y, S, E is the British way of spelling. Y, Z, E would be the American way. For example: analyze, paralyze. Another pattern is that words that end in C, E and S, E. This ends in C, E in British English. However, in American English, it is S, E. Such as defense, negligence, license, offense, pretense. Another pattern we are going to look at today is when single consonants in British English become double consonants in American English. In British English, they put a singular L on the end. But in American English, they put double L. For example: enroll, fulfill, installment, skillful. There are also words where the pattern is flipped. Sometimes the Brits have a double L. And in the US, it has a single L. For example: woolen, counselor, disheveled, cancelled, jewelry, traveled. travel remains the same for both British and American English. Traveling, traveler, and traveled can be different. Now, if you've tried to write traveled with 2L and it says you're incorrect, you are not incorrect because that's the British way and 1L is the American way. Both spellings are right, but depend on what kind of English you speak or write. It would be different. The British English version often also has a double consonant. But the American spelling has dropped that second consonant and the E as well. For example, program, ton, gram, annex, judgment. Last words that end in O, G, U, E. In British English, it will end in O, G, U, E. In American spelling, however, it usually ends with O, G. You need not add extra letters to the word when it comes to American writing. Words like analog, dialogue, catalog. These are a few of the differences in spelling when you write American or British English, depending on what you are comfortable with. I hope you got them correctly. If this lesson was helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take care, goodbye.